Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I thank the Minister for appearing at the committee today. It's been a long time since you've appeared at this committee. Minister, who is ultimately responsible for leading DFO?
That would be me.
And are all of the fisheries decisions you make based on science?
Science would be the primary driver of the decisions that we make, but there are other considerations that are taken into account.
Okay, thank you. As much as I know you want us to be excited about the funding announced, the committee has heard repeatedly that the resources need to be paired with the right plans and actions to restore Pacific salmon. The state of Pacific salmon today shows your government's approach over the past 5.5 years has failed to the point that the committee has been warned of pending collapses and extinctions. The Salmonid Enhancement Program is chronically underfunded, and the Strategic Salmon Health Initiative is lapsing because resources have not been provided. Why do you refuse to provide the resources needed for proven and essential work like these initiatives?
I would say that we have actually, as a government, done a great deal with regards to salmon enhancement. There is more that needs to be done, and I could not agree with you more that we need to do it in collaboration with the organizations that work on the ground with these really important areas. We are committed to doing that. That's one of the reasons why the salmon strategy that we will be putting forward will be done in collaboration with the provinces, with the province, with the territory, with First Nations, with environmental organizations, with industry, and with anglers.
Okay, it's interesting that you say you'll be working with all of these groups, because in 2018, your government worked with the BC government, First Nations, academics, industry, and others in developing a science advisory report that followed the emergency assessment of Fraser Steelhead. I have 3 questions here on this. Are you aware that DFO unilaterally diluted the conclusions of the emergency assessment and issued a science advisory report with conclusions that were not scientifically defensible? And what actions have you taken to assure that this assault on intergovernmental cooperation and scientific process is investigated and prevented in the future? And how can Canadians trust you and your department to be making impartial science-based decisions when your officials discarded the science to protect the status quo rather than protecting the fish on the brink of extinction?
Our government has made extremely difficult decisions when it comes to fisheries management. We've also, based our decisions on science. I will stand firmly behind our process with regards to the peer review science that we use to make our decisions. Management decisions are often very, very difficult because, of course, they impact livelihoods.
But those management decisions disregarded the science that was provided, the professional science. And your department discarded it in order to make another decision.
And I would say, sir, that because of previous cuts that we have seen from the previous government, DFO science was challenged. We have been working very hard to make sure that we are able to invest in science again. We are making sure that we have the right tools in place to make these very difficult decisions. And I will say that this government is committed to making sure that we take that very seriously and we make sure that those decisions are based on peer-reviewed science within the department.
And again, I will say that your department manipulated the science and provided a report that diluted the science that was there.